And go back to the pinpoint Doppler radar. Zane's got a little more with some of the severe thunderstorms and the winds. As you can see, they're pretty much arriving west side of the Quad Cities right now.
Yeah, let's zoom in on this again, Andy. You can see on the radar picture basically the very bow point of this severe thunderstorm line of storms is just starting to approach I-280 on the west side of the Quad City metro area. I'm going to pull up basically our wind product again that the radar can put together, and we'll just sample a couple of these just to give you just an idea of what potentially we can see. These bright blue areas are basically the strongest, measurements the radar is putting together. So there's a 64-mile-an-hour estimate. Of course, this is a fairly good estimate. Once we get this close to the radar, you can see here, I'm just going to plot this. Essentially, the radar site up at the National Weather Service on the north side of Davenport, it's only about 5 miles away, 4 to 5 miles away from the leading edge of this storm. So the radar beam actually going up there is only a couple, 300, 400, 500 feet above the ground. So it can actually measure some pretty decent, accurate estimates of the actual winds you'll see coming down to the surface. So that's why we've still got this severe thunderstorm warning in effect, basically the entire Quad City metro area until 7:45. So we've still got another 45 minutes, or at least until the storm moves to the eastern edge of the warning, which is well off to the east of the Quad Cities, just because it's moving so quickly. I'm going to put this in motion here just so you can see. This is essentially a 30-minute, half-hour loop time lapse of the radar, and you can see it's moving at a pretty decent clip, just starting to arrive in the western side of the Quad City metro area right now. I'm going to show you our Skycam again, and you can see how much it's changed just in the last 2 minutes since we showed you. Look at that. Wow.
Yeah, it's getting worse and worse by the minute. I was just looking at some power outage numbers. In Iowa City, they have about 5,000 people without power, and I imagine some parts of the Quad Cities are probably going to lose their power. So if you haven't charged up the cell phone yet, I do it now. And I do it with a surge protector also as that lightning gets a little bit closer to us. But you'll be able to follow a lot of this live. Our website is constantly updating at ourquadcities.com. And we also have updates that immediately go to Facebook too. So I'd get the phone ready to go. Look how dark it is west of the Quad Cities right now.
I'm going to turn the Skycam, Andy, because what you're seeing right here is oh my gosh, that's essentially, this is called a shelf cloud. This is essentially the leading edge of the thunderstorm crossing over the metro area right now. Basically what this is, you're seeing from right to left, basically the warm, moist air being pulled right up into the bottom of the thunderstorm like that, and then the cold air, the winds, the damaging winds, are coming right out of the thunderstorm just like that, essentially, and that is what's going to cause us problems here. Just as soon as this cloud passes over, then you're going to start to feel the winds a little bit after that.
And that whole process there, because the storm is moving so quickly, everything we're talking about, a lot of this is going to happen in 5 minutes or less. You'll see the leading edge, and then shortly after that, the winds will pick up. That's when you need to be away from the windows in case we get any trees coming down around parts of the Quad Cities, which that has been the case in West Liberty, Iowa City, parts of Muscatine. And in a lot of places, we just took a little bit of a power surge here at the station. I imagine there's going to be more of that going on here. And we do continue the severe thunderstorm warning. This is just the product just updated by the National Weather Service. As soon as they do anything from their office, we see it in our office basically immediately. And they are continuing the 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, the storm moving east 60 miles per hour. And it is a long line of thunderstorms affecting thousands of people around the area. So the rain, it's not too far off. It's now getting into the Quad Cities. You can see it coming down in sheets. It's not often you see rain like this on the Skycam, but fortunately it's not often we have thunderstorms like this, and that's why we're staying on with the extended coverage here as we continue to monitor things from the Skycam. And